Carolina here from KarolinasKrafts, and welcome to my channel. If you guys are new here, please click that red subscribe button down below, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Today's video is actually going to be a Iceland kind of packing list video. So I just came back from Iceland yesterday morning and it was so amazing. I think I'm also going to do like a little travel diary of the things I saw in Iceland, as well as another video of things you should know before you go to Iceland that they don't tell you in Iceland, and that things that we pretty much found out by ourselves and towards the end of our trip, so we didn't even get to use those things really. So I'm going to do a video on that as well, but today's video is going to be things that I packed and things that I wish I would have packed. So one of the first things you definitely want to bring to Iceland, because Iceland is so expensive, like I'm not even kidding you guys, but Iceland is so expensive and they have really awesome, good natural tap water straight from the sink and everything like that. So you could just bring a water bottle and fill it up. I recommend just getting like one of these, so if you also want to fill it up with something hot, you can. If you guys are going in the winter, if you guys are doing a hike or something. I just filled it up with water, and this came in so handy throughout my whole entire trip, and I never had to buy water or anything. I just walked around with my water bottle and I filled it up every single day. The second thing I brought with me was 2 jackets. So I definitely want to recommend to bring 2 jackets. In Iceland, they say you could experience all 4 seasons in one day. So the weather is very unpredictable. It could just rain out of nowhere, and I recommend bringing 2 jackets. One, because it just might rain and you might get caught in a rainstorm and then your jacket might not dry in time for the next day. But also number 2, because there's a lot of waterfalls in Iceland and you could actually get really close to them. There's also one where you could go behind the waterfall, and if you do that, you're gonna get soaking wet. So I recommend either bringing 2 jackets or 1 jacket and a raincoat. I just brought like this one. I think this is like a ski jacket or something, and then I also had another winter jacket that I wore with me. I was also layering this jacket on top. You're basically going to be wearing a lot of layers in Iceland. I went in April and it was really cold. I will go over how many layers we all wore every single day when I show you guys what I brought for my layers. But I also just brought like this black jacket. I also recommend getting a jacket with a hood, because if you are wearing a hat, sometimes it gets really windy and you just want to put your hood over it so your hat doesn't go flying everywhere. Something waterproof, something really warm, especially if you're going in the winter time or in April, you know, kind of like Iceland's winter season. So I definitely would recommend warm clothes. The next thing I brought is some bathing suits. I brought 2 pairs of bathing suits. I brought like a 1-piece, and then I also brought a bikini. I brought 2 because I just was like, you know, I might need 2. But it actually came in really handy, because on the second day, if I was drying this one, it wasn't even fully dry yet. So then it was good that I had my second bathing suit. But there's also a lot of geothermal like rivers and pools and things like that, like natural pools, and especially the Blue Lagoon, which is like super recommended, which you guys could do, which is natural water, but it's a man-made like space. But there's also like a secret lagoon and a secret pool that you guys could get to. You guys could just Google it, like where it is. There's also the natural hot river, which we did. So there's a lot of like natural hot river or hot lagoons or things like that you guys can go to. So I do recommend bringing 2 bathing suits. Also, if you guys are trying to go sightseeing and doing things on your own in one day, you might need to like be changing in and out of your bathing suit, and obviously you're not going to wear a wet bathing suit under your clothes because it's like freezing temperatures. So then it's good to have a separate one if you guys are going to do something afterwards, so that you can put on a dry bathing suit instead of now a freezing cold bathing suit at that point. I also recommend a quick drying towel. I brought a regular towel as well, but I ended up not using it. I used my quick drying towel the whole entire time, and this was great because, well, it's quick drying, and it also just dries you amazingly. Like, you put this like over your body and literally like it takes off all the water. So a quick drying towel came in very handy. It's also very lightweight. I just bought this at Eastern Mountain Sports, but I know like any other store like that, like REI would also sell them. I think it was like $30. Look at it. It's very thin, but it keeps you nice and warm if you have it wrapped around you, and it's super fast drying. So this came in so handy. Not to mention that it also came with this waterproof pouch, so that when it was wet or when my bathing suits were wet, I just stuffed them in here and it didn't get anything else in it that I had in my backpack wet. Another thing I recommend is a small little backpack for you to walk around with. This came in very handy for the days that we were doing sightseeing and not like going out in the city, or not like going out for drinks or dinner or whatever, but just sightseeing. I had my water bottle in here, I had my camera equipment in here, I had some snacks in here, my bathing suit, and my quick drying towel. And because it was so small, everything fit into my little backpack. If you guys could find a waterproof one, even better. If not, one of those will do just fine. We actually got really lucky with weather. It only rained the last day before we left, and that day we were so exhausted. We were just relaxing that whole entire day. But all the other days we had very, very good weather. It would only rain for like 5 minutes maybe, and then it would get really, really windy. So the weather was constantly changing, but with rain and everything like that, we got really, really lucky. One thing I ended up not using is my sneakers. I brought some sneakers for the trip because our hotel did have a gym, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll use the hotel. Nope. Did not use the hotel, not even once. We literally would wake up in the morning, sight saw things all day long, and then we would get home at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then finally get to bed at like 3, and then do it all over again starting at like 6, 7 a.m. in the morning just to sightsee some more. So we were super exhausted. We didn't even have time for the gym. But if you guys have like hiking sneakers or anything like that, you guys could totally bring those. There's so many mountains and lots of hiking to do, especially like for the one for the hot river. That's like an hour-and-a-half hike, which I'll show you guys which shoes I wore for that. Because it was also cold, so I kind of just wore like warmer shoes. I did not use my sneakers, but you totally can if you guys are going to be doing hikes, if you guys don't have any other shoes. The shoes I pretty much wore on an everyday basis are these shoes. They're actually waterproof, and they have a fur lining all throughout the inside of the shoe, so they kept my feet really, really warm. They were also great for hiking. This is why they look so dirty, because I wore them hiking. I literally bought these before I left. They were $40 at Nordstrom Rack, so they were an awesome deal. Fur-lined everything, kept my feet warm. If we were going out or just walking around town, sightseeing around town, those kinds of things, and not doing any hikes, I would wear these shoes. These are just from Bear Paw, also fur-lined and everything, just to keep my feet warm. And then I also just brought like a regular pair of like going out shoes, which were just like little booties, short booties, that I brought for walking around the city if we were just going to eat, or if we were just going to go out for a drink or two. Of course, you need your lingerie, so this is my bag of like panties, whatever, bras, things like that. You're definitely going to need some. I would bring like an extra pair or two, just in case. You never know when you're going to get that time of the month, or you never know when you're going to get wet from like a waterfall, because you will legit end up soaking wet if you do the one where you walk behind the waterfall. Legit soaking wet. I'm not even kidding you. So definitely bring like extra pairs of that. I also recommend bringing thermal layered clothes. They are very thin, but they keep you warm. So I had 2 pairs of long sleeve thermals, and I had 1 pair of leggings that I would wear underneath everything. This was the first thing I would always put on. That way, if I did sweat or anything, these dried faster than like cotton clothes. They don't like keep in the wet, they just kind of dry faster. I would wear about 3 or 4 layers of clothes. Let's see, I would have this on, plus one of these like shirt dress tank tops that I brought. I brought 2 of these. I had this one and a gray one, which I don't know where it is right now. I'm literally unpacking as I'm like filming this video. But these shirt dresses from H&M, they're like $7 I think, but they came in so handy. So I'd wear the thermal layer first, then I would wear this, then I would throw on like a sweater dress or something, like something longer that's thicker, and something that would also cover my booty, because you know, I was just trying to stay as warm as possible. So I have this turtleneck sweater dress that I brought with me, or I have even this one that was just long enough to cover my booty and everything like that. So there was those 2, and then I also just had some more long sleeve shirts and something that was like really long. This one was a little bit more complicated to wear because it's so flowy, so it was hard to layer cardigans over. I recommend like nothing too baggy, because then it's also going to be hard to layer things on top, but also nothing that's too tight that you can't layer clothes on top. This t-shirt dress I brought with me to wear on the plane, and I just layered a cardigan over it. So for me, it was perfect with the thermal layer for my leggings. I had that first, then I had like my regular skin tight black leggings. On top of that, I had some sweater leggings or fleece lined leggings like these. So I bought these a long time ago from like Joyce Leslie. I had these fleece lined leggings, and then I just had these sweater leggings, and then these super warm fleece lined leggings as well. So I just brought those 3 pairs, and I pretty much was in these two the whole entire time. I did not even wear my white ones, and I was gone for 7 days, so this could also kind of give you guys an idea of what you guys should pack if you guys are going for a long winter trip in Iceland. And then of course my regular black pairs of leggings. I just brought 2 of those because I knew I was going to be wearing those a lot. For cardigans, I had this one which I wore on the plane. It's just like a thinner cardigan I could just put on top if I got cold on the plane. Not very necessary because you could just totally wear a warmer cardigan, which I did throughout my whole entire trip. I pretty much wore this black one. It's just a nice cardigan. It has like some fur or like fleece or whatever lined right here. Oh, look, I even have a hair clip on here. So I pretty much wore this one the whole entire time, and this gray one that I'm wearing right now. I did bring this towel. Did not use it. It was just way too big to carry around with me. I brought this bag with me just for going out. Just for that one night of going out, I brought this bag with me. Also, you don't really need it. It's not very necessary. I also packed some other sweaters that I ended up not wearing at all because these were a little too baggy to be able to like layer things over. I know, guys, I kind of overpacked a little bit, but I kind of felt like it was better to overpack than underpack as long as everything fit in my suitcase and it was like the appropriate weight for the flight. Since everything was just staying in the hotel. But if I was backpacking, obviously I would bring less things. For pajamas, I just brought 2 shirts and 1 pair of long sleeve leggings. I always bring 2 shirts for like a week because I change my pajama tops like every 3 or 4 days. Pants are fine. If it was that time of the month, I would have brought an extra pair of pants just in case. Fleece lined tights I didn't wear because I ended up just wearing those 4 layers of leggings. I also brought with me 2 pairs of jeans for those days that we were going out. So I brought like a high-waisted and a regular one. Then I brought like a regular sweater shirt to match with a regular pair of jeans, and then I brought a crop top shirt to match with the high-waisted jeans. Then I also just brought some workout clothes again, which I didn't end up needing because I didn't even go to the gym. I could have totally layered with that, but I just layered with the other things that I had. Hats and scarves and gloves, also very important in the winter for Iceland. I recommend something that will like stay on your head. I had like one super baggy hat that covers my ears, but if there was any wind, it would literally go flying off my head. So anything that is either on tight or anything that has like a clip underneath, I recommend bringing. I had a scarf that wrapped around 3 times, like one of those circle scarves, but like a regular scarf would work as well if you could just wrap it around. And then some gloves. I brought 3 pairs of gloves because sometimes they get wet, you know, sometimes you're going through a waterfall or whatever. Gloves, hats, and a scarf, I would recommend bringing an extra pair for those times that you do go through a waterfall and then you end up freezing cold and then everything is wet. I also brought leg warmers that I got to wear on top of my 3 pairs of leggings that I had on and underneath my boots. Although my boots were fur lined, I at least got to put these leg warmers on the bottom of my leg to like keep everything warm from like my knee down. I brought a belt for going out to match with my pants. It was just cute, something a little girly so I could look a little cuter for when I did go out. More girly stuff, if you do have your time of the month, definitely bring that. I also brought with me my vitamins and pills and anything like that. I do get cold sores, so I had my small dosage of Valtrex in here for any day that I was super tired or I felt like my immune system was low, because you're constantly going from like hot to cold to hot, whether it's like the water or whatever. So I didn't want to get sick, so I did take my Valtrex, and I didn't want to get a cold sore, so that's when I would take it if I needed to. I also brought some sunglasses. Definitely a must in Iceland. It is so bright out there sometimes. Some days it's really cloudy, but sometimes it's also very, 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 very sunny, so you're definitely gonna need some sunglasses. And on top of that, we did get caught in a sandstorm, so sunglasses came in very handy to protect our eyes. I would not bring like your best pair of sunglasses, but also something cute for pictures and things like that. I did bring these ones. Big no-no, because now they're all scratched up from the sand, and these were my favorite pairs of sunglasses, but I really liked them and I really like how they look in photos. But just be aware that you do get sandstorms, so you might not want to bring your favorite pair of sunglasses. Some other necessities, aside from makeup, which I did bring for that one night that I did go out, I definitely bring shampoo, conditioner if you're not staying in a hotel like we did. We stayed in like a guest house or like a hostel. We shared a bathroom with everyone inside that building, and then we had our room with bunk beds and things like that. You're definitely going to need a toothbrush, that's a must. toothpaste, obviously, just some of the basics. I brought dry shampoo because we got home so late all of these days that actually dry shampoo came in so handy. I brought this leave-in conditioner. I know it has a sticky thing on top as if I didn't use it, but I put it back for the flight so that it wouldn't explode or anything. So just like a little leave-in conditioner to help me brush out my hair. Oil blotter sheets, I did not even use those. Some soap and something that I also use as a face wash. Some lotion for your face. Because it could be so windy, you definitely want to bring a good lotion, something super moisturizing. I brought some hand sanitizer, also came in very handy. Some perfume, did not end up using this at all. Eye drops did come in handy for me because of the wind and everything, so sometimes my eyes get dry. And then some scrunchies and the hair clip that you guys saw on my cardigan before. I would recommend bringing these because they do come in handy as well. Sometimes I wore braids to keep the hair out of my face. Some of the other basics include a hairbrush and then a nail filer and clippers. I can't tell you how many times I needed to use this in Iceland because my nails kept breaking. I don't know if it was from the cold or from what, but legit, my nails kept breaking so bad. Aside from all that, bring some flip-flops. If you guys are staying in a hostel or wherever, you can shower with these, and they would also come in handy when you're coming out of like a hot river before you dry off to put on like your boots. And then the last thing I had was a camera bag for all of my equipment. I do recommend bringing a GoPro or something that is waterproof. Again, because of all the waterfalls and everything, you definitely want to bring something waterproof. I also had my vlogging camera because I'm a daily vlogger, so that's my Canon G7X. And then I had the camera that I'm filming on right now, which is my DSLR, and that one is the most bulky camera that I did have, but the photos came out amazing, girl. So if you guys do have a DSLR or a nicer camera, definitely bring it because the photos just come out so great. It's like not even comparable to anything. And this is my first time ever bringing a DSLR camera on vacation with me, and from now on I'm legit bringing this camera with me every single time because the photos just look so amazing, and I really loved how they turned out. My friends loved them. They were like, wow, Carolina, these photos are amazing. So we were kind of like joking around that I was like the photographer, and that they need to invite me just every time they go on a trip now, just so I could take photos and bring my fancy camera. Now that's it for everything that I did bring, but I also was going to tell you guys the things that I wish I would have brought. Oh, also one more thing. Wait, I don't know where I put it. Converters. If you guys are going to Iceland and you're from the US, you definitely need converters for the outlet. You definitely need to bring those, so that's important. Hold on, let me just go through my list here. Credit card or debit card. They use a credit card for everything in Iceland. You don't need cash whatsoever, so you could definitely just bring a credit card. Chapstick. Yes, girl. Yes, definitely bring some chapstick. What I should have brought. So I wish I would have brought a actual legit raincoat instead of having to bring my extra jacket and just kind of like layer that. I wish I just would have brought a raincoat, but I don't really own one. I should probably invest in one at some point, but I do recommend a raincoat. Snow pants, I also recommend that for the times that you guys do go behind a waterfall or get super wet. That way you could just take that off and it'll still have like your layered clothes underneath and you won't get wet. Definitely bring snacks, guys. You could pack them in your suitcase, like goldfish, fruit snacks, chips, anything that you guys can bring. Definitely bring it because things are so pricey in Iceland. We legit ate food at the hotel for breakfast because we had free breakfast included. By having a free breakfast and bringing our own lunch, which we also did go to the grocery store one day and we bought like some bread and peanut butter and jelly so we could make sandwiches. Dinner ended up being a minimum of $30 a person for dinner. So that saved us a lot of money. Otherwise we would be spending $30 for each meal, which would have been almost $100 a day. And then I would also recommend bringing baby wipes for, you know, those times you gotta pop squats. We ended up popping squats so often. You guys have no idea how far things are in Iceland. Like there's so much empty land that you may not find a place for you to walk into for miles and miles and miles and miles. I'm not even kidding you. Bring some baby wipes. And then the last thing I would bring is something for your immune system, which I kind of touched on before. We had Airborne, which was like a really high dosage of vitamin C, and it helps support a healthy immune system so that we wouldn't get sick with all the temperature kind of changes between like the geothermal rivers or pools and everything like that, and then just the freezing temperatures outside. And that's it, guys. That's it what I would have brought for Iceland and what I did pack. I hope this video is very informative to you guys, and I hope it would be very helpful if you guys are going to Iceland and maybe you guys are packing along with me right now. Maybe you guys are packing for a trip right now, and if you guys are, have a safe flight, have so much fun in Iceland. And if you guys are not, if you guys are just considering going to Iceland, well, I hope this will help you guys anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time in my next video. Thanks so much for watching.